Hello friends and welcome to Top of the Stack MTG. So I've got kind of a sad subject to talk to you about today. MTG Card Market has closed. Chicago has had two large gaming shops. They have the Dice Dojo and they had MTG Card Market. I kind of feel like two shops for a city as large as Chicago seems like a small amount. I feel like there's enough people here and enough demand for Magic that it technically should have been able to support maybe even 4 or 5 shops, but Chicago only has 2. There is Pastime Games in the northern suburbs, about half an hour north, and that's a very successful shop. So you could say Chicago has more like 2.5 shops, maybe 3 shops, something like that. But MTG Card Market has closed, and it was a very sad thing because it was one of the best shops I've ever been to. Just an excellent shop. You guys have heard me talk about it in the past. I've always talked about either Dice Dojo or MTG Card Market. And now with MTG Card Market closed, Chicago is down to 1 store, maybe 2 if you want to count Pastime Games. So 2 shops for the entire population is just low. And I believe that they didn't say the reason that they closed. They just put a posting on Facebook and they said that this Friday Night Magic was going to be their last event. I don't have Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook, so I didn't know that. So I missed their last event. I wasn't able to talk to them and, maybe just try to find out why. I know personally that it's because the secondary market's kind of suffering right now. Modern is strong. Modern is doing pretty well, but I believe a shop can't simply exist on the sale of modern cards. Standard is a big, important thing. They want people drafting the new sets. They want people buying the new singles. They want people coming to Standard. It's very important to help a card shop stay in existence. All of Standard is. And what happens to the cards after rotation is very important. If the cards just tank after rotation, that's very hard on the secondary market. So I do want to say this is not a rant video. I'm not trying to get all crazy or anything. It's just a big deal, and I wanted to bring it up. Wizards of the Coast definitely understands the importance of the secondary market. They do not acknowledge it, but they understand its importance. And you can see that easily because they have a reserve list. Cards they have promised they will never print, because when they do too many reprints, the secondary market gets hit really hard, and then everybody complains, and then the card game dies. And this almost happened to them. Of course, you've all heard about this. You can watch videos about it. They figured it out. They said they're sorry, and they said we will never reprint these cards because we completely understand that card shops must be able to make money or we don't exist. If all the card shops go out of business, there is no Magic, period. Now, all the card shops aren't going to go out of business. I'm not saying that, right? I'm just saying when you take these things to extremes, you can see why these choices were made. Card shops have to be able to make money or you will stop playing Magic. It's just that simple. If you can't get cards anywhere but online, slowly but surely your excitement is going to die off and you're not going to play Magic anymore. Also, they're careful about reprints. They don't just reprint anything in the world. They choose their reprints. They make them ultra rare. They're good about reprints. They do make reprints, and that's very cool, but they're very careful about it. And they have lots of events at local shops. there isn't a Wizards of the Coast shop, right? You can't go to Wizards of the Coast and buy packs and draft. You go to game shops. That's how they do it. You know, they only sell to game shops that hold local events. They understand the importance of this economy and of keeping this cycle going. They have to. It's the only way they can stay alive. Everyone who plays Magic plays Magic because of a card shop. Now, I do understand there are people who play Magic who have never been in a card shop, but the person who told them about it was in a card shop. If card shops never existed, Magic wouldn't be able to get the word out about their game, and nobody would play it. Now, there are games online now. We're at a weird point, and there is a small chance that Wizards of the Coast is saying, okay, we've had enough of paper. Paper's dead. We're not going to use paper. We are going purely digital because we can survive that way. And I do believe they can survive that way, but I do not believe that they're giving up on paper. I think that's kind of silly. Wizards of the Coast loves their paper, and they want people to buy their cards. So I can't say that, well, they're just giving up on it, because it's just not true. So to let the secondary market kind of suffer a little bit, to let some stores close, really kind of hurts them. We should be in a time with the success of these new sets, with how much fun they are, how well they play, how great Commander's doing, and how great Modern's doing, and Standard is doing pretty well, I think. With the success of all of this, there should be new stores opening, not stores closing. I think Wizards of the Coast wants new stores to open. I think they want tons of new people to join the game. This is what they're looking for. But I think the problem is they have made the secondary market a lower priority. They're thinking about their 25th anniversary. They're thinking about Commander. They're thinking about how to make Standard be more balanced and enjoyable. And the secondary market has sort of become this very low priority. And I don't think they understand how badly they're hurting themselves by not taking this market seriously right now. So I feel like they should be more proactive. I want them to say that when Standard rotates, the cards that used to be in Standard just tank in value. Stores will not buy boxes and open product and try to sell the singles because everybody knows that the minute those cards rotate, they are worthless. It is a waste of your money to try to collect these cards. And I want them to be more proactive. I want them to say, you know what, Modern is really successful, Commander's really successful, Standard is really successful. We've got this weird gap between Modern and Standard, and it's kind of hurting our shops, because shops, they could just stick to Modern. They could say, no, we don't care about it. We don't care about Standard. We don't care about opening boxes. We don't care about selling singles for Standard. We are only going to buy like Ravnica, and we'll tear it open and we'll sell off Ravnica singles. But they can't stay alive that way. Standard is important to stores. It brings people in. They see people playing. And Modern Knight does the same thing. They just need Modern and Standard. And it's getting to the point that even that's not enough. They're going to need Modern and Frontier and Standard. And I want to call it like a new format, because Frontier's got this sort of weird reputation of being this bad thing, which is just ridiculous. But they need a new format. They need something in the middle that helps these cards retain value. Right? I want Rudy on his channel to be buying tons of new boxes and tearing open packs and talking about, look at these pulls, look at the value of these cards and hold them. Don't sell them now. Wait 4 years, because in 4 years, this box will be worth twice as much. He never says things like that because it's not true right now. It's a mess right now. It's a bad mess. So I want them to be proactive, and I want them to say, there's a new format. We're putting it in the middle here. At first, it won't be that successful, and that's fine. Give it 4 years. Let new players come in. Let them buy cards for standard. Let those cards rotate, and let them say, I can still play this deck. This is wonderful. I love this game. I'm going to continue to buy cards. I'm going to continue to play this deck that's rotated, and I might get into Modern while I'm at it. Right? That's what we all want, of course. So I think they should declare a new format. They should get stores to buy a ton of Fate Reforged and Cons and these older sets, not super old, because the super old's covered. The super old's doing well. But these sort of old boxes, buy them, tear them open, sell off a bunch of singles. And a lot of people say, somehow this thing started on the internet. I don't know how, but a lot of people say Frontier is just a scam so that card shops can sell cards. Which is just crazy. The only thing card shops do is sell cards. That's what they do. There is no scam. When you see, oh, look, a card shop, I think I'm going to walk in there. If you buy a card, you don't walk out going, man, they really got me there. Right? I mean, that's just ridiculous. Maybe if you walked out and you owned a car, you could be like, I think I might have got scammed there. But buying a card, that's all they do. That's what they want to do. That's what you should do when you walk into a card shop, is buy some cards. You absolutely should do that. Buying the cards helps the stores, and it helps get new players too. When they see people in there buying cards and playing games, they think, I might want to walk in there and do that, you know? The professor always used to say, at the end of his videos, he would say, you cannot play Magic at Walmart, you cannot play Magic at Target. Even though those places sell Magic cards, do not buy your Magic cards there unless you have to, which is totally understandable. But do not buy your cards there. Don't buy your cards online. Buy them at stores, because that's where you get to play Magic. That's where you get to meet new friends. That's where you get to learn about crazy new decks. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. And he doesn't say that much anymore because he's got sponsorship from big online places. And I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, I want him to be successful. I want his channel to do well. And I really love his content. I think he's excellent. But it's interesting that things are shifting right now. We're pulling away from the importance of the Magic shop. And we're getting into, don't buy packs, because only stupid people buy packs. And we're getting into, just look up the deck that you want to play. Just magically know that, the deck you want to play. And then just buy it online. And then just play and win. And then you're playing Magic. Which is just crazy. I mean, it's a collectible card game. You should not try to take the collectible away. And I do understand that there are spikes. There are people who specifically just want to play to win. And I'm totally all for that. If that's truly the way you want to play, then you should. But the market, the YouTube presenters all have this same kind of opinion. Maybe because of their sponsors. I'm not sure. But they're kind of, we're kind of training everybody to have this same attitude about, if you don't buy packs just to draft, you're doing it wrong. And that's just false. It's just straight up false. If you walk into a game shop because you need some dice, you should pick up a couple packs. Straight up. Just to be nice to the shop, just to tell them that you're glad that you're there, that they're there. Maybe you'll pull something cool and you'll decide you want to build a deck around it. If you need a couple cards for your deck, go down to the shop and buy them. I know it's easy to order them online and you get some flashy hand-drawn token or something crazy. But support your shop. Go to the shop. Because without it, Magic would not be the way that it is. It would be Hearthstone. It would be less complicated. It would be a free-to-play thing. And it would do okay, right? You'd play it for 4 months, and then you wouldn't care anymore. And that would be that. And we don't want that for Magic the Gathering. We want it to be complicated, and we want it to be enjoyable, and we want to meet people, and we want to watch the Pro Tour, and, we want to keep it strong. We want to keep it really strong. Yeah, I didn't mean to rag on the professor. That's not what I'm trying to do. So don't think of collecting cards as a bad thing. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. Buy cards. Buy singles. Should you play Frontier? Yes, you absolutely should. Because it's silly cheap. It's so cheap to buy a deck. And it's fun. And it would really help your card shop. If they've got some crazy singles and you're like, wow, 20 cents a piece. I'll take 4 of those and build this janky, weird deck and give it a try. If everybody just tried that out and bought some weird cards, they'd buy more boxes. They would buy Origins and they'd tear open a bunch and they'd try to get the flip chase planeswalker things, And it would just really do a great thing for the stores. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Just try to support your local shops. Try to keep them alive because they're so essential. I was really sad that we missed the last event for this shop. It just kind of happened out of nowhere. And I really hope that everybody that was there is doing all right. I hope that I hope they have success with what they choose to do in the future, and I'm really sorry that they're gone. And have a great night.